Hi, Colin Seitz with the Remo team at Remax Benchmark Realty. It's Monday morning. I'm going to be heading out of the office shortly, but wanted to give you a quick preview of what I was going to be doing, and then I'll follow up a little bit later with the rest of the video of what this is. So I'm headed out this morning to meet the building inspector in New Windsor at a property that my clients own and we have listed and is currently under contract. When a municipal search and title report was pulled when my clients bought the property, it was discovered that there were building violations on the property. So I've been working with the town of New Windsor Building Department to clear the violations. We've had both a engineer and an electrical inspector into the property already to do work on it. There were more than four violations when the title report was pulled. We have a letter from the building department. I'm going to scan it and put it up on the screen in the finished video so that you can see what it looks like. But we basically have a letter that says our records indicate that building permit number 3744 for an in-ground pool and a 5-foot fence was issued in 1987. However, it has since expired and it was never closed out. The assessor's records indicate the following violations: a rear 10 by 16 foot attached room with a full bath, a side addition, a shed with a bath and attached 18 by 23 deck, and a bay window. All of the above referenced violations were constructed without the proper building permits. So at some point during the 1980s, a porch, an addition, and several things were constructed on the property without building permits. Now, I've been working on this for several weeks now, so we're going to head out to the property. I've got an 11 o'clock appointment this morning with the building inspector. He's going to inspect. We've had all of this remediated or corrected. I'll walk you around the property and tell you what we do. This is one of the types of services that we do as a local real estate agent. Boots on the ground. These are the kinds of things when people think that you can hire your online discount broker, things like that. If you don't have boots on the ground and somebody out there who can handle this kind of stuff, this is stuff that would normally fall on a homeowner. 5 building violations. You'd need to know an engineer and an electrical inspector and those sorts of things. So I'm going to head out there now and meet the building inspector, and I'll catch you out at the property. Hi, Colin Seitz. I'm out in New Windsor at the property on Quissake Ave. It's directly behind me here. I just wanted to introduce you to the property, show you what the building violations were, give you an idea of how we're clearing these and getting certificate of occupancies for my client. So I'm going to spin the camera around here in a second and face the other direction and walk you around the building and explain to you what the violations were. So here we go. Alright, so we're going to walk up here. The extension that you see directly in front of us here with the 3 small windows right here, that is an illegal, it is an illegal porch that was enclosed back in the 1980s. You will see footings down at the bottom right now. These were added. So we had an engineer come in and take a look at the building violations to figure out how to deal with these. This shed right here was a violation. This is actually hooked in and had water and sewer attached to it, but nobody knew where the sewer went for the shed. There was a pool over here, so that was an in-ground pool with a fence around it. The original permit called for a 5-foot fence. The fence that was here had been cut down to 3 feet, so the fence was illegal. The pool decking was rotted. The pool itself had collapsed inside. So my clients chose just to fill the pool in. And believe it or not, filling in a pool does not require a building permit. So all of this was done without a building permit. That was a violation and listed. So this is a shed, which was a small finished pool house with a deck attached to it. So here's the back of this room. So this is the enclosed porch. The white portion of the building here with the small windows is an enclosed room. This was a violation. So both the extension there on the right side and the white building were both added during the 80s without building permits. You'll see here, adding to the list of interesting things we dealt with on this property, here is your well. So directly right inside this white building is, guess what? It's a full bathroom. There is a sewer line directly behind and underneath the concrete where that wood board probably is. There is your wellhead. This was previously a buried well, so when my clients bought the property, that wellhead was located about 4 feet below ground. When we had a water test performed, the water test failed for bacteria. I'm not so surprised considering there's a sewer line right there in the ground, right there. So we brought my client brought contractors in. They had the wellhead extended up above ground. They had the wellhead treated. We've got clear water tests now. So we had an engineer come in and take a look at the 2 additions that were put on there and recommended remedial work that needed to be done. So concrete footings were added. underneath the porch, and there was work that was performed that was then signed off by an engineer. We supplied all of that paperwork to the town of New Windsor. We prepared building permit applications for the project and everything else, and now we're out here meeting the building inspector who just pulled in to have all of a final inspection. So we had to have an electrical inspection done, so that's done. I'll show you what some of the paperwork looks like, but I'm going to go open the lockbox now, and we're going to head inside with the building inspector. So I'll finish this up again shortly, but this is what we're working on today. Hi, it's Colin. I've come inside the kitchen now to show you a couple things. I just wanted to show you what the root of the problems were with additions here in the property. So off of the kitchen is a large, what they turned into a master bedroom here. There were 2 additions directly behind me that were put on in the 80s without building permits. So you'll see here, this is an enclosed porch. This goes outside to the pool area. It was probably a lovely addition in the 80s when they put it. So from the master bedroom behind us, you've got double doors into this area. This is about a 10 by 10 area. You've got sliders out here to the pool area. And then through to here, this is the master bathroom that was added on. It's got a low ceiling. It's a little bit of a strange room if you ask me. It's got small windows. It's got a vanity. It's got a skylight. There was a shower and a toilet installed. So it's a nice sized master bathroom now. But again, this and the enclosed porch next door were both installed in the 1980s without any building permits, without any sign-offs or any certificate of occupancy being issued. So when my purchasers, and subsequently when the purchasers who are buying the house now from my seller, perform a title search and a municipal search, there's a letter in the building department file indicating that there are violations on the property. So we've completed the paperwork. We'll apply for certificate of occupancies. Once we applied for the building permits, we had to bring in an electrical inspection. So we had an electrician come in, do electrical work, then have that inspected. We had an engineer come in and guide us on what needed to be done. There was some work that needed to be done outside with footings and things like that. We had work performed, and so the building inspector just left after completing his inspection, and they will issue a certificate of occupancy, which should be ready within a few days, and then we will have clear title and be able to close on our property. So these are the types of things that we're often working on for clients. If you see me running around town doing things like that, we are back and forth to building departments. We're consulting with clients, helping them clear title issues. So the owners of this property likely did not know that they had violations. The letter was not issued until recently. So while the town was aware that there were violations, so at some point somebody driving past the property from the building department or from the assessor's office had noted the improvements of the property and noted that there was no changes in the building department file, and therefore there were notes added in the file that there were violations. So when a title search is performed, they turn up that letter, building department notifies the title company of the building violations, and so in order to sell your property, you either need to clear the violations or you have non-clear title with title issues and everything, and then you have to deal with the situation that arises from that. So I am going to pack up and get out of here. We are done with this project for today. So this is Colin Seitz with the Remo team. We are clearing building violations. If you need help with listing your home or getting it sold and you're running into these kinds of things, feel free to give us a call. My number is 845-590-0680, or you can reach us online. Thanks and have a great day.